Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Valleycast. Today we have a very special guest by the name of Noah Grossman. Noah Grossman, everybody.
Hi, Noah.
Hey. Hi, Elliot. Hi, Joe. Hi, everyone else's
Joe.
ears.
Applause everywhere.
Noah, how are you? How's your quarantine going? You look you look like you're on the set of a fun Nickelodeon show.
Oh yeah,
I love it.
So this is one of my many projects during quarantine. I painted a wall. I designed it.
You painted that?
Yeah. So this is teamwork. So it was myself and my girlfriend. We designed it, picked out the colors and stuff, and then we started painting it. We were about 80% done, and then my mom snuck in late at night with the paint brushes and finished it because I guess she wanted to be a part of it. Which, like, thank you for the help, but
that's nice. Did it?
That she was doing it.
That is the sweetest mom thing
happened.
that I've ever heard. That's amazing.
Was she just worried that you weren't going to be able, that you were going to not do it, that you were just going to get bored and stop?
Listen, I'll admit that I took 4 weeks longer than I thought I would.
That might be part of it, yeah. It looks so cool, though. Did you did you make stencils, or did you, for our listeners that aren't watching the video, I mean, Noah's wall looks like a splattering of splatters and Nickelodeon logos in all different colors, but all the colors work really complementary together.
Yeah, it's like sea anemones.
Yes.
Sea anemones. They're frequenting with each other on a background, a sea of black. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Essentially, I just drew blobs with my girlfriend, and then as you paint the layers on top of it, you're able to shape it slowly but surely into a better form than you stared with. So if you saw how it started, you'd be like, how could this ever work? But it works.
I definitely have. I have no idea how it works, but very cool. Did you do that as intentionally to be a background for being a guest on this podcast?
Yeah, I did it just in time.
That's awesome.
Just in time.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I would do anything for you.
I love
how Steve was. You remember how Steve was kind of like our weird, alt-right camera angle on the last thing we filmed with Steve? Noah's like the alt-right version of somebody that just has Nickelodeon conspiracy theories. Like, that's it.
Mm-hmm. And there are
that is so fun.
Like 5G definitely turned SpongeBob gay, like 100%.
Yeah, but I hate it. Like, that's my point of view.
Yeah, you hate everything.
May or may not have
you hate it. You
just
talk about it all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. It really bugs me.
How's the rest of how are things going? How are you holding up in all of this? How's your 2020?
Okay. So I guess just a rant about myself. So
please.
God. So I try, I guess, to do little charity things when I can, because I have a friend who does he's a tech entrepreneur, so he builds kind of ways for charities to raise money by connecting with people who have fan bases and stuff like that.
Cool.
So prior, Uncle Joe, you might remember this. I did the Fruit Face Challenge back in 2015.
I remember the Fruit Face
where we raised
Challenge.
Meals. Yeah, for No Kid Hungry. Yeah, is that what it is? Oh my God. But so we started this year. We wanted to do something in order to help homeless people, or people experiencing homelessness is the correct term that I learned because I got educated on the topic, which is amazing.
I just read that the other day. I was like, oh, okay. I guess that makes sense. I like that.
Yeah,
that's a nice
talk about
change.
it.
Yeah.
Talk about it to me as if I don't know what you're talking about, which I don't, and I know there's other people. What do you say experiencing homelessness because it's less of a
yeah, it's like you're
a
homeless person. Like, you are a person who's experiencing homelessness, rather than being like you in and of yourself are a homeless. That's my understanding, but you probably know way more. Yeah,
100%. Well, no, it's exactly that. It's like both trying to not be rude from the get-go and tell someone what they are and label them, because the moment that you label them, especially when it's like someone who's labeled in a class that needs support, you're always going to kind of run into kind of a difficult conversation always. Yeah. And then it's also not to be patronizing from the viewpoint of someone who wants to help, you know? I'm not a homeless person. I'm someone experiencing homelessness. Like, thank you for your help, but I'm not. It just makes it easier, the conversation, and more respectful.
It avoids
used a lot.
Never would have thought about it in a million years till I read about it and was like, oh yeah, that makes sense, because if I was experiencing homelessness, I would hate for people to automatically assume that it sounds like an end point.
It sounds like what you are. Yeah, if that's your descriptor, it's very hard to overcome that description. And then there's a bunch of side descriptors that ride with that automatically.
Yeah.
So I totally get it because yep.
Yeah.
Anyway,
what was the other one?
The other term that I learned was neighbors in need, which I thought was cool too because it there's a lot of different types of homelessness that people experience. So yeah, because sometimes, or it is actually your neighbors that are in need. It's not random people.
It's a total state of mind about how you're going to look at it all. Because if you go the other route, you're creating an unnecessary hierarchy in the situation where you are automatically on top, and you look at things differently. But if you're looking at it as a community as a whole, and you're what the neighbors in need assumes that you are dealing with a community and not how we treat homelessness a lot right now, which almost seems like a disease and something that is not wanted within the community, and then you don't think about it that way.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 100%. So our goal, the campaign that we came up with, was called Delivering Kindness, and we kind of chose that angle because we thought, number one, it's a concept that people can get around, where with Delivering Kindness, we would raise funds in order to essentially have a day where we would deliver pizzas to Skid Row. But we thought that it would be a cool way to get a brand involved, because we thought a pizza brand, that's something kind of easy to hop onto. If we created a campaign that we could try to get a brand involved and they could pretty much just say, yes, why wouldn't we do this? We're like, no money's involved, just, help us by matching pizzas and coordinating the day. So this was basically in the middle of January that we started this, beginning of February. And by the way, in the background of all of this, the world is, knowing coronavirus is happening. And we're hearing little inklings of it, but of course we have someone very special in charge. And I don't mean that in any derogatory way. I just mean like this is such an extreme case of leadership that it wasn't really on the forefront at the time. So we kept planning. And a bunch of my followers on Twitter helped me in tweeting at different pizza brands, and Pizza Hut got involved. And this was right around my birthday, I want to say. So essentially February 14th. And that's also when kind of coronavirus became the well-known thing and what we needed to fight here, both in the United States, but more specifically Los Angeles. We were like one of the early, and still are, a large outbreak center. So from there, we kind of took the curveball and made the campaign into something larger. We both understood that, A, we can't move forward with this for health reasons, like the city won't let us, and also it's probably better not to gather a bunch of people. But also it's whether or not Pizza Hut would still want to be involved when something much larger is going on the idea of a brand wants to be involved to be seen. So we were like, all right, let's change it. Let's still deliver to people experiencing homelessness, but let's do it through, we were always going to partner with the LA Mission, but let's do it with them distributing the pizzas, contactless delivery. We're going to change from any sort of large pizza that you can share. We'll take all the money. We'll put them into personal pizzas. And then we also added 2 other locations, which is the Good Samaritan Hospital, because we wanted to support, surgeons and just general nursing staff. And then we are also delivering to Los Angeles Fire Station 9, which is the fire station that most often responds to Skid Row calls, but is also known nationwide as one of the most called, most worked stations. So we're going to be able to essentially deliver to frontline workers and still support people experiencing homelessness, which is really cool because it was all done purely by donations from my fans.
So this is happening. It's still happening.
It's still happening.
Yes.
Oh, great.
Yes, still happening.
Cool.
I thought this was going a different direction.
Our current dates. No, this is still happening.
Great.
Our current dates are either the 27th, 28th, or 29th for our actual delivery, and then of course the video will be edited and released later. But we're doing
awesome,
one
man.
day. Yeah. All contactless deliveries to these 3 locations. It's really amazing. We raised $1,200, which is cool because Pizza Hut is essentially matching that equally. And
2 things.
So it's gonna be awesome.
One, commendable way to take curveballs and just work with them, and you didn't let it make your endeavor a lesser endeavor. You grew from it, so that's freaking awesome and inspiring.
Thank you.
And what are you? You're like 15 right now. You're still, man. You're a leader. What you're doing is that you're innovative and you're a leader, and it's awesome. And I'm proud of you.
That's super sweet.
Secondly, do you need help? Can people sign up? Is there anything that you would need from our listeners or can our listeners do anything, or can people help out in any way from here on out?
So, yeah, thank you. Really, at this point, we've kind of ended fundraising. You can still check out the website at pixelbank.com/Noah, PIXL bank.com/ and then you got to use a lowercase n when you spell my name. But you can just check out the campaign. Technically, you could still donate, but at this time, we've kind of locked in the amount. Your money will still go towards the campaign. But really, the way to support would be to look out for the video when it comes out, because we would love to kind of get a lot of support behind it, make it maybe like a nationwide thing where maybe another pizza brand wants to do something similar. Not that I'll be involved with it, but kind of make almost like a little competition thing, maybe between brands or cities where maybe other influencers will be involved. Yeah. So yeah, just support it when it comes out. That would be amazing.
Dude, very cool, man. That's amazing. Good for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Follow up on the tech side of it all. You were saying the guy that you're working with, he does this a lot for anybody looking to do fundraising or charitable type programs?
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, like not at all as an ad. So my friend Christian Johnson, he's basically a tech entrepreneur and a CEO of his company, but they develop and have worked with large brands like Disney and Marvel. I guess those are now the same. But in creating interactive fundraisers where kind of people get involved by posting a photo, but also kind of using their photo in order to fundraise for the campaign itself. And the current iteration of the technology is pixelbank.com, which is cool because it's for literally anyone, but specifically for influencers of any size. Cool. But essentially, you can start any campaign that you want. It doesn't have to be for charity. I wanted mine to be for charity, but it can be like, hey, help me, get a new camera, or like help me support my audio equipment. It's meant to be a way similar to Patreon, but more short term, where it's like a one-time thing. But you can keep your page and keep changing what you're raising money for. Mm-hmm. But it's just like a different avenue for influencers who want to try to grow and keep going and interact with their audience base, but also have their audience help them kind of do what they want to do.
Mm-hmm. It's a like a short-term crowdfunding situation. But I like what you did with it because you're like, I'll take my pictures. I'll do the narcissist thing, but I'll do it for other people.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, man.
Thanks for spreading kindness.
Yeah, you've been busy too. So you did that, and then you were just texting me earlier this week. Noah also developed an app, and I wanted to kind of talk
Joe,
about.
Just so you know, Joe, you found your microphone.
Oh,
before we hit record, we were trying to figure out how AirPods work, and we figured it out when you did that. That was like we were in your ear with you. That was cool. It was a very I feel like I need a shower.
But Noah developed an app. I want to talk about the app itself, but then also kind of like the ups and downs and the craziness of thinking about an app and brainstorming it and then taking it through the development stage to finally getting it released, because that's something I've never done.
Yeah.
Yeah, gladly. So, like,
tell us about that now.
Thank you so much for just letting me talk about myself. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I'm here, and yeah, this month has been crazy. It's been like the month of kind of the months before planning. Now is when it's all happening. So back 3 months ago, a guy named Jimmy, you don't need to know his name.
Well, now we do.
This guy from a company called
Jimmy.
So this guy, Jimmy.
I'm not gonna forget it. So, type that.
Basically, a company called Thunkable sent me an email, and they are a company that came out of some like Google incubation program or something like that from MIT, but also some tech workers from like Alibaba, and this one used to work at Facebook or something like that. Who knows? But so they're a new tech company, and they developed this technology called Thunkable, or Thunkable is their technology. I don't know how to speak. But essentially, it is another way in order to create apps. So instead of going in and directly coding, it's like another way to do it. It's almost like if you're making a slide presentation, you might use PowerPoint. So like if you're making an app, you might want to use Thunkable because it makes it much more easy. You can plug certain things in. There's certain already presets or themes, or it just helps.
It's like those websites builders that are out there now, like Wix, where it's just like plug in your thing here. You got a website, but it's like this for making an app.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, makes it a lot easier. And then past that, I was working directly with Jimmy and his team, and they were directly doing the coding.
We don't need
I was
to know
like
his name.
backseat driving.
Stop saying his name, Noah.
I can't. So we developed an app, and our original pitch, and this was like 2 months ago now. This was even before the talks of reopening and now reclosing everything, because why would we open?
Great question.
We called
No,
it
it's a great
Quarantine.
question.
It's a very... Someone needs to answer it.
Anyway.
We called it Quarantine Truth or Dare. Because it was supposed to be kind of like a play on both social distancing and also using quarantine to kind of say, like, it's the freshest version. Like, now you know that it's modern. It's instead of putting 2020 on it, it's quarantine. You know what's happening.
Yeah, like truth. Are you in quarantine, or dare take a step outside?
Dead.
Like that was the whole game.
Straight up. No. But we got denied initially. We totally got denied after we built the app. And they were like, this sucks. Because you mentioned COVID. You can't mention COVID at all. So
when you say denied,
mention...
and you're using the pronoun they, are you saying like the app stores and stuff? Are you like Apple and all that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me explain a little more. So when you submit to Google Play is done all by robots. Google just approves anything. So it took like 3 days and they didn't care. As long as it doesn't have like penises in it and it's not for children. But Apple, they have to have someone look at it. Someone specifically looks at it. And this is no knock to Apple, but anytime you put an app in review, I couldn't help but feel like I had some posh snob on the other end, just like knocking my app the whole time.
You think you're going to get into our app store? We have a limited shelf space.
It was insane. So the first thing that we got back was like, you're breaking guideline like 1.3.7. You can't have mentions of COVID at all. Your app will be completely denied. We see in the metadata we can read that there's mentions.
That statute was actually written in 2001. Just makes you think. Look into it, guys.
Yeah, what date in 2001?
How'd they know? You don't even want to know, but you'll remember it if I told you. Anyway.
So we had to change it. And our references to COVID were actually in some of the truths and the dares. Was like, hey, dare you, one of the random out of like 125 is donate $3 to... the Worldwide Relief Fund. They help support COVID relief. And it's like, we can't mention it. And it's like, okay.
Don't turn that into a game.
Right? Uh-huh. But, so then we rebranded and we did Stay at Home Truth or Dare. And we got hit back from that. We got denied and they told us that it was spam. They were like, you're breaking code like 2.4.7. This is spam. We don't like it.
Spam? That's weird.
So we had to figure it out. So I appealed. I sent a massive appeal because it's like, how is this spam at all? They were like, you don't have original features. This is something that exists before. So I was like, okay, this is not okay. We did our research. I was like, Truth or Dare apps, there are a bunch of them, yes, but none have been updated in like the last 3 years except for one. They all suck. None of them have this multiplayer feature where you can play from different phones. You know what I mean? Like really breaking it down. Like, we have a feature where you can submit your own Truth or Dares. Steve even has some in the game. And they still denied it. They were like, the appeal, we've read your appeal, and it is still spam. So we were
wait. Real quick. So the difference between your game and all the other loser Truth or Dare apps is that all the other loser Truth or Dare apps were made for a pre-COVID world where you had to be in the same room to Truth or Dare. But what you did was turn it into what we're doing here on the podcast, and you can do Truth or Dare in different places and make it a communal thing, even though we're not hanging out. Is that it?
100%.
That sounds like spam to me. That sounds like spam. Right? I don't know.
If that ain't spam,
technology.
If that ain't spam, I don't know what spam is.
Jimmy, is that spam?
Right?
Jimmy says that's spam.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And basically, our technology on top of that is original too, because we create rooms that you can then join. So technically, you could have 1,000 people from all over the world playing together, and you can submit your own Truth or Dares that then get sent to me, and I approve them. That then go into the app. So technically, the whole world could play with each other. They didn't like that pitch at all. It was still spam.
Still spam. Still sounds like spam to me.
Jimmy, still spam? Jimmy says it's still
spam.
spam. That's a pretty broad definition of spam. That's hard to get around.
Yeah. And it hurts your feelings because you're waiting days and you get emails.
Yeah.
It's like, your app is in review. Your app is being reviewed. There's a message for you. Log in. See your message, and then you like log in and it's just red and it's like spam.
Oh yeah.
It's like
this
your
is
app
unoriginal.
Your app is another word for garbage and trash and things that people don't like.
Also, we went over
I
your
personally looked at it.
P.S. We went over
You know?
your admissions thesis, and you are not getting into Stanford.
Exactly.
Just
yeah.
like, I like my favorite thing about the Truth or Dare app that you've described so far is just you just secretly trying to insert dares to better people's lives and make them all more altruistic. Like, dare be
Yes.
practice minimalism for 3 weeks and get back and tell us about your experience.
Yeah, what was the so for the charity thing? They didn't want the specific name of the charity involved, or like you couldn't take people's money and give it to a charity.
So we couldn't. No, we could not. Well, number one, we kind of removed most of the direct references to the charities and what they do, but we also removed COVID, quarantine, and all mentions of Truth or Dare, just to avoid it. But it was all actually for the better because it forced us to kind of relook at the app, redesign it a little bit, and I think come up with a better version that we call now the app, which is out officially on both Google Play and the App Store, is called Introverts and Extroverts.
Yeah. That ain't Truth or Dare,
I'm gonna
baby.
look it up right now.
No.
What's the difference?
Essentially, the pitch is that there are introvert and extrovert challenges, which are similar to Truth or Dares. Still has the same core mechanics of Truth or Dare, but is kind of rebranded in a little bit of a different way, in the sense of a lot of these are kind of exactly what they are, like introvert or extrovert challenges.
We found it. Elliot found it.
Oh, you found it?
Bam.
Hey. This is version 1.
May I read some of the reviews?
Oh my God, I have not looked at any of them.
Already
Can I read you the one
reviewed.
review? Absolutely.
Wow,
Okay,
here we
let's
go.
do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Valleycast exclusive. Elliot Morgan reads Noah Grossman's first review on his first app ever. Here we
These
go.
are the puts for Wall Street. If you're looking to invest in this particular app, the review says, "This is a great game. It is really cool and fun to play."
Cue the music, everybody.
I want you to know, I was really nervous, and that makes me feel so good.
5 stars.
Wow, thank you.
Dude, take it down now. Take it down now.
There's only a couple people know about
this is Zillow. I opened Zillow. Let me do a different one.
Nobody's.
This is bad. Yeah, I'm not reading these. Yeah.
That's
2026
though. That makes me happy.
This is cool, man. It's got your name right here. So are you like pivoting into being like a businessman?
Maybe. I think it's more so just trying to explore avenues that I'm able to find. Like, I've been able to find such unique doors due to like the path that I've taken, in both like being an actor and also like I don't know what it really is to be like an internet influencer. I'm not huge, but I also didn't necessarily like go into it with that intent. So trying to find a way to make myself happy and also make cool things along the way. Because I just think that's such an interesting opportunity. So I have to take it.
Yeah, you have to, because if you look back one day and you're like, oh, I had an opportunity to do anything and everything I possibly wanted to do, and then you don't do it, yeah, you're going to have that's a bad time, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I'd rather be, homeless or experiencing homelessness.
Yep.
Right.
And have nice memories or know that I tried something, then I don't know what the alternative would be.
Well, what you're not doing... Oh, go ahead, Elliot.
No, after you, Joe, please.
No, I was just gonna say it's good, and I think it's a good lesson for anybody that wants to do what you tripped into, which is being an online influencer entertainer. A lot of them don't realize and don't take advantage of the extra step ahead that gets you. You get to you can fast forward in some of these endeavors, and a lot of people don't, whether that's fear or just not realizing what it is. You're taking the little head start that you have, and you're making the most of it.
Yeah, trying to.
But
trying my best.
Do you think what we do is cool?
Dude, you guys are straight up inspiration.
Hello.
Hey,
there he is, Steve Zaragoza, everybody.
As you know, I am the creator
no.
of the
Popping
song
in.
Ice and Firebooks. upon
Which
which
Steve did we
HBO's
get?
television series
Well, if he's
Game of Thrones
No.
was based. Emphasis on was. I don't even recognize the goddamn thing anymore. God damn it. Yes, this is author George Martin.
Hey, George, it's Dan and David from HBO.
We can't get
you
the
know
audio.
from the
Is
hit
it-
series
is he recording
Game
his
of
own audio?
Thrones.
we don't know.
Speak of the
No.
devils.
That's very
Hey, we
funny,
just want to
man.
let you
But
know to take your time
so-
on the winds of winter.
for those
Ever since we
listening, Steve
passed your
just said
books,
he's at the
ratings have
South
been
Pasadena
through
flea
the
market looking
roof.
for items under
Oh, is that
$5.
so?
Come on, let's see what
Well,
we can
maybe I'm
find.
not gonna
That's
let you
very
finish
funny.
my story
And it
for
was
me
funnier
after
when he
all.
did
If
it.
anyone's gonna ruin it, it's gonna be
The
me.
idea of
I
doing
think I
that
might-
is so crazy.
R.R. Martin.
I might be able to
Breathe,
record his
George.
audio.
Think of spaghetti.
Let me see.
Spaghetti. You know,
Talk.
fuck you. You're not gonna distract me.
Interesting. A lot of people don't know about this or think about this
Ooh.
at all, but
I
the
got
the anus, like, forgive me for using a term that's actually scientific, but the anus never sees sunlight, and you never get like fresh air on your
You
anus.
never get fresh.
So what I like to do is when I'm out in Hermosa Beach or when I'm in Long Beach or something,
I don't know
what
why.
I'll do is I'll just hang out on the beach and I'll just, I'll just spread my cheeks to the
somewhere
sun.
different than he's been for the past 6 months.
Spread My Cheeks to the Sun is my
Spread
favorite
My
Tripping
Cheeks to the
Daisies
Sun is
song.
my favorite Tripping Daisies song.
Is it working, Noah?
So what I can do is
I don't think it's-
I can't separate your guys' audio channels. I would have to record everyone,
Yeah, that's a nightmare.
which I can
Well,
still
that's
record
a nightmare.
myself.
I just
We're
wanted
gonna
to
say
hi.
goodbye.
Very sweet.
I just
That's
wanted to say
very
hi.
sweet of you, Steve.
And I love you guys. I finished all my work for the
Dude,
week. It's been
busy.
crazy.
Dude,
I'm finally
busy.
done. It was a crazy week for me, so I'm just gonna fucking chill out, get really stoned, and play Animal Crossing.
Well, hello there, and welcome to the ad portion of this episode of the Valleycast. My name is Elliot, and I'm here to tell you about some really sweet deals. We're going to start with Bespoke Post. Guys, if your mailbox is anything like mine, 90% of the time it's a fairly depressing place. Political flyers, utility bills, unholy amounts of coupons. Once a month, I do have a reason to be stoked, and that's because of my box of awesome from Bespoke Post. You guys have heard us talk about this before. It's a wonderful company that sends dudes cool dude things like grooming goods to barware, to cooking tools, and outdoor gear, and all sorts of other things. It's a box of awesome. Do you get it? You see what they're doing there. To get started, take the quiz at boxofawesome.com. Your answers will help them pick the right box of awesome for you. They release new boxes every month across a ton of different categories. It's free to sign up, and you can skip a month or cancel anytime. Whew, didn't have enough energy to... You know how it is. Each box costs only $45, but has over $70 worth of gear inside. To get 20% off of your first monthly box when you sign up at boxofawesome.com and enter the code Valleycast at checkout. That's 20% off your first monthly box when you sign up at boxofawesome.com and enter the code Valleycast at checkout. That's Valleycast at boxofawesome.com for 20% off. And that's just one of the many fun things I'm going to tell you about. I'm not going to lie, this next company I personally reached out to on Instagram so I could get more of their clothes. I'm talking about Cuts Clothing, guys. I like t-shirts. This is not one of them currently, but I do have more of them. They were nice enough to send me more, and they're the best t-shirts, and I'm very obsessed with them, and I try to not wear them very much because they are my special ones. They're my favorites. The t-shirt is a menswear staple, but it's long been plagued by horrible conditions, shrinkage, bacon neck, color fade. I don't know what bacon neck is. Every time it cracks me up. Parachute fit, wrinkles, and stretching, to name a few. And bacon neck. Besides, every classic deserves a modern take. So guys, we're gonna tell you about Cuts. Cuts Clothing has completely changed the game. Their t-shirt has enough quality and style to wear in the office, on a date, or anywhere in between. It's true. So now you don't have to choose between a classic look and a modern feel. I was just in Florida a few weeks ago. I wore Cuts shirts the entire time. Guess what? Didn't catch anything. Coincidence? Yes. In 2016, Stephen Borelli was struggling to find the perfect t-shirt. I guess he made a company. I'm not gonna read all that, but here's the deal, guys. They're wonderful. They're my favorite t-shirt brand in the world. Fit, fabric, and function. The only shirt worth wearing. Athletic, tailored looking fit is perfect for work. Their summer collection is really good. That was a personal part. Shop by cut. You can choose your collar, crew, v-neck, or Henley. Choose your cut, elongated, split hem, or the classic curve hem. No bacon neck. And it has a great mix of long sleeve, short sleeve, collars, cuts, and colors. Will have you ready for any situation. That's very true. The long sleeve ones are so comfortable too. It's the only shirt worth wearing, and they're just they're hammering that point home. So I feel like that's really important to them, that it is the only shirt worth wearing. Once you wear a cut shirt, it's impossible to choose a regular t-shirt again. I can tell you from personal experience that is true. I've been obsessed with them. I love them. They're my favorite they're my favorite. They're like another sponsor that we have for under our pants, but for upper body. So just to give you any idea. So anyway, you get 15% off your first order by going to cutsclothing.com/Valleycast. That's cutsclothing.com/Valleycast to get 15% off. That's cutsclothing.com/Valleycast for 50% off your own shirt. Will. And final ad read. I don't know about you, but I'm very impressed with me having gotten through this so seamlessly. Whether you're working from home or working on your fitness, you want what you're listening to be what you are listening to, not what your neighbors or roommates are listening to. And that's very important right now, especially in these times of solitude. Everyone needs a great pair of wireless earbuds. But before you go dropping hundreds of dollars on a pair, you need to check out the wireless earbuds from Raycon. You already know Raycon earbuds start at about half the price of any other premium wireless earbuds on the market, and that they sound just as amazing as other top audio brands you know. Their newest model, the Everyday E25 earbuds, are their best ones yet, with 6 hours of playtime, seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass. I thought it said more class, but let's assume more class too, and a more compact design that gives you a nice noise isolating fit. My girlfriend uses them a fair amount. They're out there on the counter. They also come with a customized little ear gummy bears that go in your ear, that mold to your ear, so you can get a nice comfy fit, and it's nice and it's very well packaged. So unlike some of their other wireless options, Raycon earbuds are both stylish and discreet, with no dangling wires or stems to distract anyone during video calls. That's very true. You've heard me talk about how the company was co-founded by Ray J. If you haven't heard me talking about that, you haven't been listening. And celebrities like Snoop Dogg or Cardi B. Yeah, they're all obsessed with Raycons, and you should be too, because that's how it goes. That's what life is. So pick up a pair and see what all the hype is about. And the way you can do that is you can get the latest and greatest from Raycon, and you can get 15% off your order at buyraycon.com/Valleycast. That's buyraycon.com/Valleycast for 15% off Raycon wireless earbuds. Buyraycon.com/Valleycast. Guys, back to the show.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Okay, great. What were we talking about? I don't know. We're back from an ad read now, everybody. Back from an ad read.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back from the ad read. Steve could not get figured out and recorded, but he and his anus send his best wishes.
I really wish he could stay. I just watched last night. I watched his Comedy Central. I was telling you guys, I watched his Comedy Central video, and I wish he was here to tell me about it, because that is next level.
He surprised all of us.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I said on that channel that I broke my penis, and then I came here and said it. So I thought that I could at least see face to face him say it as well.
Yeah.
That he lost a sex toy in his anus.
He straight up never told the story before. That's not an embellishment at all. We heard nothing of this. He just told us one day that he filmed the same show as you did, and he said, "I told a story that I've never told before," and he proceeded to not tell us.
This is where, and I know we're going to pivot in the conversation here for a moment, but when it comes to new media. And sort of how it's really risen up against all of the mainstream media. There is still something about people like Comedy Central, things that have network names that cause us to not say everything about our lives around each other, just in case one of the big boys comes knocking for a story that they're going to pay a little extra money for, and it's going to get them a little bit more eyeballs on them. Steve knows exactly what he's doing, and that's a real smart move.
Yeah, he didn't waste it.
I just have to say, from personal experience with that, it was more the reason why I never told my story to anyone until that moment, even though it had happened a year prior, is because of how much shame, and every single time I would think about it. And now it's softer, but there is there's trauma in you, legitimately, that every time you even think about it, you grit your teeth and you shiver. So it's like, I don't even want to talk about it until I've processed it. And the only way that I forced myself to process it is because Comedy Central said, "Hey, you do this, we'll take a meeting with you, we'll hear some of your ideas, and also we'll pay you $500. Aren't you a broke artist?" And I was like, all of this is what I want and what I need. Maybe my dreams will come true. And not that time. Not that time. But maybe the people in that room will see me another day.
Exactly.
And who knows?
Imagine how often and how much more people would work through their own trauma and bullshit if they were offered $500 just to do it.
And a meeting. And a meeting,
Joe.
15 minutes. I got to pitch a couple ideas of game shows that I got nervous about, stumbled a little, and I don't think they liked them. Even though I think they would have been great.
And I still feel bad about what happened to my penis. It still sends shivers down my body.
Still should have went to the doctor.
Yeah. Hey, Planned Parenthood turned me away. I didn't have my insurance card, and I was scared to talk to my parents about it, and it didn't seem that bad. And it turned out okay.
That's good.
I promise you that I'm still okay. Who knows?
So far, so good.
The future.
You were turned away from Planned Parenthood?
Yes, they legally could not even look at my penis.
Did you try making
said
an
that they are
appointment
not-
and wait for the doctor, or did you just
Yes.
come into the...
I tried making an appointment, right? I couldn't
Yeah.
clearly fill out what my issue was through their appointment system. So I tried to call, and they said, just come in. I went
Were
in.
you in agony while you were trying to find an appointment on their system?
I was scared. No agony. It wasn't a lot of pain. You know, some because like realistically what happened was like one of my ballasts on the sides of my penis, or like, you know, some blood vessel popped.
I don't
or
need to know
something like
Jimmy's
that.
name. I don't need to know what Jimmy's name is.
And started leaking some blood inside. So it was tender like a bruise, but it didn't necessarily feel like a bruise where there's muscle underneath that's like hurting.
Right.
But it was definitely tender. But I was scared. I've
heard this story before,
I like
and
couldn't feel my feet. Scared.
Getting me again already.
Oof.
Don't like it.
Yeah. Sweating. I go into Planned Parenthood. I have to wait. I'm the only guy there. Finally, it's my turn to go up, and like I'm a walk-in. Like, how can we help you? And I'm just like, well, you know, I would like to have a doctor check me out. Well, what's wrong with you? Like, oh, I broke my penis. Like, what? Like, yeah, I broke my penis, ma'am. She's like, okay, we can't really help you with that. And I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, we can't really help you. And I'm like, please, I just want someone to look at it. Let me know if, like, they think it's really bad, or if, like, maybe it's not too bad. And she's like, there's no one here who's qualified to do that. So
Just give me like a thumbs up, thumbs down. Like, would you be concerned?
Yeah, really.
If this was your penis, what would you do?
That's all I wanted.
It's too bad,
Really,
like
I just
Comedy
wanted
Central
someone
wasn't
else.
shooting a web series called "Is This Bad," where they would pay you $500 to just like take an injury and show it to people on the street. Is this bad? And then you would have been.
Yeah.
But you got to have a meeting. Of course, they're going to promise you a meeting as well. But that would have been great.
Mm-hmm. That meeting just takes place in the hospital.
You
Yeah,
know,
I got turned away.
what happened again? What caused this? What's the...
The cause was shower sex, and shower sex in which my lover was very
We'll call him
excited as
Jimmy.
well. Jimmy, yeah,
We'll just call him that.
was very excited, and we both were definitely, you know, making pelvic thrusts.
Young love.
Didn't sync up at one moment. The space, you know, the water, everything just kind of ended up making a little pop.
The physics. Yeah.
And yeah, and when I Googled it, this is not a joke. I believe it's like a Saudi Arabian kink, or like a general like Middle Eastern kink. Not that it's common. It's just something that I read, where they will actually do what happened to me essentially, but instead of it happening in, you know, the middle of the base of their penis, they do it to the tip of their penis. They pop it. They make a pop, almost
Pop
like a
and cock
nipple.
it. Cock and pop it.
What I read was, yeah, they'll both purposefully do it themselves.
Oh, God.
With their hands.
Oh, God.
Or they
Oh.
will, yeah. And I'm so sorry, everyone
That's
who's listening. You're forced to learn what I learned, because it's the only way for me to get over it. It's like a curse.
Yeah.
Is they'll also purposefully smash their penis
Sure,
against the
sure.
buttocks.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, that's,
Yeah.
everyone does that, but the popping.
Yeah.
Wow,
What a fun
man,
game.
That's so funny. Good for you. I'm glad you're okay now.
Yeah.
How is
I am too.
And I hope you've
no-
calmed down in the shower, damn it.
Yeah, dude.
Yes.
Slow love.
I've
Slow
avoided it.
love.
I don't think I've had shower sex since.
Yeah. Good move.
That's real. I can't. It's
We've
scary.
covered shower sex and Comedy Central. We've covered your entrepreneurial endeavors. But how's, like, outside of like the work and stuff, how has life been for the past 4 or 5 months for you? Noah's in LA with us as well, but I mean, are you just kicking it at home? Like, how are you handling all this? What's your thing? How you staying happy?
Kicking it at home.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm happy enough. I wasn't necessarily doing much before, so staying in the house is pretty common for me. I'm now kind of learning how to cook a little bit, and for me, that means I make a mean scrambled egg.
Good man.
I can out-scramble anyone's egg. I grilled a steak. That's pretty cool. Joe, I'm sure you're proud of me.
Dude,
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Listen to this, y'all. Straight up. I'm going to cut you off here, Noah.
No, tell me about it. If it's cooking recipes, I'm here.
It is, and listen to me. It's filet mignon.
What?
All right? Sounds really fancy. You go to filet mignon. I found this recipe. It's so easy, and it takes like 10 minutes. Well, you heat up an oven. You need a cast iron skillet or some kind of a pan that you can put in the oven. You sear it on both sides for a little bit. Put it in the oven. You make a little chive butter with it, dude.
Ooh.
Fellas, it's like a 5-star. Joe, it's like the steaks we had that time at that place before the world changed.
That time at that place with the steaks?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. And it's so good. I can send you all the recipe or put it in the description to this podcast. But it's so good. Because the filet mignon, the steaks themselves are expensive, but not like you would pay at like a restaurant where they're like $50. You can do this so easy, and when you do it, you're like, I can't believe it's that. You can't believe how easy it is. You just can't believe it.
Dude. Can I change your guys' lives right now as far as cooking goes? Because I've become let me know. Kind of a wizard through all of this. Use the money. Buy an Instapot. It's like a crock pot on steroids. You know how like I'll make a stew and I'm like, hey Elliot, I'm making a stew.
Yes, I do know, Joe.
I'll make that stew, and on a crock pot, normal day, that's like a 6 to 8 hour endeavor, and that's a great endeavor because it's like wafting into the house and it gives you something to expect for the whole day. The anticipation is like half of it, and it's great.
But what if I want something faster, Joe?
You can make that same damn stew in the Instapot in like 40 minutes. 40 minutes. You can take frozen chicken breasts, like 3 pounds of them, throw them in there, and they're ready in 18 minutes. It's weird wizard pressure cooking stuff. It's insanity, and it makes you feel like a cooking god. You got little recipes on the internet.
Holy
you just
shit.
use your little fingertips and you put them in. You type those in, and it's like it's changed everything. It's insane.
It's a microwave. You have a microwave, Joe.
But it's better. It's so good. Oh my God. Do it.
That's amazing.
Instapot. Not sponsored yet.
That'd be great.
Joe, you seem like a stew maker.
What's that?
When I think of you, you seem like a stew maker, and I mean this in the nicest way. You're like a mother bear, and I love it.
Thank you.
But
Thank
also
you.
a moose at the same time.
Of his, he'll send photos of his like stew. But
creations.
It always, I know when you have the bowl of stew in your hand, it smells delicious and wonderful. But if you just
the
see
pictures are
stew,
horrible,
terrible, and it always looks like you threw up into the bowl. And I'm sure I know the idea of it, and it looks delicious. But I was like, man, it's like I think Joe's like trying to turn me off a stew.
Absolutely not. Well, yeah, because then there's more for me, dude. People cook desserts in these things. This magic pot.
I need to get one. Yeah, I really want to get one just because. The shit that cooks shit super fast, it's wonderful.
It scares me. It scares you at first because it feels like unnatural. Like cooking chicken is it's always kind of feels like you're taking a lot of chances. Like I grew up being like salmonella. Make sure you overcook it, and it's always dry and shitty. But you throw it in this thing, and it's perfect, and like all the fear is gone. All the fear.
Yeah.
You want to know what one of my friends said to me? That's unbelievable, Joe.
You just
but
start throwing
salmonella-wise, yeah. I had a friend tell me, because I was talking about cooking, and he was sharing how he cooks chicken, and I was talking. Obviously, I'm new to it. I don't want to cook chicken. I'm scared of getting salmonella. Mm-hmm. And he responded with, "Oh, you'll be fine. Just drink a little soap." And I thought he was joking, and he was not joking. He really thought that you would be okay if you just added a little soap. Like you would be fine. It's soap. What does soap do? I was like, that's not how it works.
No.
You can't just intake a parasite and then drink this, base poison and expect to live. How did you get this far?
Yeah.
Jimmy, insane. God dang it, Jimmy.
Jimmy again. It never stops with him. Anyway, so you're doing is it really just scrambled egg, Noah, or are you doing like somewhat? Have you tried any fancy recipes?
Dude, I guess the fanciest recipe is I've done a Gordon Ramsay steak before, although I didn't have an iron skillet. So I did grill it. I like adapted it because I watched a different video on grilling, but I still used Gordon Ramsay's recipe and like made his butter and like, spiced it the same way. And it tasted great.
Wonderful. Yeah, it's the best. I'm real spoiled because Grace gets the HelloFresh meals, and then it's like all individually portioned ingredients, and they're all fresh, and she like makes the meal, and then it's like a meal. Yeah, you should try it.
That is
I can give you a code.
So freaking cool.
What a world.
It's wonderful because everything comes in its little packet. It's like 1 clove of garlic, and then a little half tablespoon of cayenne, and then it just tells you step by step how to mix it. And when it's done, it's like you have a really like significantly fresh meal, and it makes you feel it's like different types of food too. So it's really nice. I just gave them a free, I guess, ad spot on this, but it's legitimately
not sponsored.
Very nice.
Yet.
That is so cool because I feel like that's what I imagined people thought was going to happen in the future when they were in like the 50s.
Totally. And
I don't know. That just feels really cool.
Yeah, it's like watching, because I remember growing up watching cooking shows, and then I would try to cook, and I'd be like, the difference between cooking at home and the cooking shows, in addition to the talent level, is that also they have all the ingredients like on the table, all in those little dishes, and like, grab this, and you throw this in, and you grab this, and then you're like, that's not what I have in my kitchen unless I like take everything out individually. But when they send it to you, oh, it's wonderful.
Damn.
So
that's cool.
Speaking of shows, forced segue. I started watching Unsolved Mysteries, The Return of Unsolved Mysteries, and I am so happy. Not for the mysteries, because the mysteries are all sad and very tragic, but man, it's a good show. It's a good show.
What's it like? That just got released right on Netflix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Are you familiar with the old Unsolved Mysteries, Noah?
No. Isn't that when they're just like, Nancy was killed? Who did it? Maybe your husband?
Probably her husband, but because of bureaucratic justice loopholes, it's not yet. The new season so far, I'm like 3 or 4 episodes in. It is all just tragic murder. The old school one, they would also pepper in, and Elliot, I think you might be farther than me in this new version, but they'll pepper in some paranormal, like some ghost stories and stuff, and that was always great. And I'm waiting for that a little bit.
I stopped watching because I got
all murder.
Lost. Did you get the one where it falls into the hole? The manhole.
The manhole man. Yeah, where obviously it's like, his business partner did it. And it's like, but mysteries. But it's really good, and they tweaked the theme song just enough to where it doesn't give me nightmares every time I hear it, and I don't have to fast forward through it.
I'm glad to hear that other people were terrified of this show, because I always feel like I get terrified at the easiest things, and I didn't know anybody else found that show scary in the olden days. So I'm glad that that man still scares me. That trench coat.
Robert Stack, is that his name?
Whatever the host is, the voice, the whole thing.
He was great.
Set that he was on. Too much.
I'm pretty sure, and I don't think I'm speaking out of turn, he helped create the show because I think his own kid was.
No, I think you're thinking of FBI, America's Most Wanted, or FBI.
That's what I'm thinking of. Yep, yeah. You're right. I was going to say Robert Stack's own kid was a ghost.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it is Robert
FBI
Stack.
Most Wanted. His daughter was Most Wanted.
His daughter was his daughter, and he was like, "Well, you got to monetize this shit." Like even then,
he created the show to catch his daughter.
It's like, so the hook is that my daughter is the America's Most Wanted. She is an international espionage terrorist. But his daughter died tragically. So anyway,
oh my gosh.
But she did, I guess. It was kidnapped and all that.
Yep. But
I
the opposite thing that you said was funny, but not that.
But then when I realized what the truth was, I felt bad. Yeah. And that's 2020 in a nutshell.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Man,
right.
We're doing these podcasts. Thank you again, Noah, for doing this. But these come out on Wednesday, and it's always weird because the world keeps getting crazier and crazier. But I keep, every time we talk about, like, I always hesitate to talk about how crazy it is because I'm like, oh, if it comes out on Wednesday, everything's probably going to be totally calm by then, and this isn't going to be relevant anymore. But it doesn't matter. It's just getting crazier and crazier. There's no reason to be concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's only a clear propaganda tactic. That's about it.
Tell us more about your Nickelodeon
Load my
propaganda.
brain every day with distractions. What a great technique developed in like 1962.
Yeah, God. What about this now?
You're podcasting, right,
Sorry.
Noah? What's your podcast about?
Yeah. So it's called Noah Grossman Live. We just came back from a hiatus because on similar things for like 4 weeks. I do it on Tuesdays and then a video version comes out Thursdays on my YouTube, but I just couldn't. It's just what it is. Like during these 4 weeks, like I really didn't even post on my Instagram, and it's not like boohoo me, I'm like someone great because I didn't like shoehorn myself into the conversation. It's just really what it is. Like there's a time to listen, and it's like you don't need my account on your feed. There's someone else more close to the current issue that can speak to you, and that's like the clear point is that it's about the current issue that's happening. So if someone's close to the current issue, they should be the one speaking. If it's a different issue, you know, let's talk about Jewish Americans or how we feel about other things. Like, hey, I might be able to speak a little, but there's probably better people still. But
yeah, we all took a step back during that.
Dude, I'm glad to hear you say that. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I feel even now it's like I don't have any desire to post anything.
Yep.
I mean, we're all just sort of like we are existing and kind of all hands on deck, but also listening and also like you're saying, letting other people who know what they're talking about actually speak is a real wise move. And a lot of people, I don't know. I wish it would catch on a little bit. Because, man, if there's not a lot of noise, you know? Yeah.
Or, like, at least catch on to an apology. Or, like, you know, a de-escalation statement. Like, that's my issue with most of it.
Yeah.
It's like, how are you, after getting the reaction, like, still sticking to your guns? Like,
right.
Like, past your personal beliefs, you should take in from the response. And like, this is the worst part. This is, unfortunately, the worst part. Is like, number one, you should actually feel it when you apologize. You should legitimately feel it, and you should understand why you're needing to apologize. Answer, you know, why you made the choice you did, where your headspace was, what you learned, and how you're going to move on, you know, and who you offended, how, and apologize for it. But you don't even really have to feel that in order to do that. So, like, I can't handle anyone making, like, public stupid statements and standing behind them. That's it. I guess I don't have large examples other than, you know, anyone who's outwardly like anti-mask or like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I think we know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we're all on the same general page. I think being the apology part is like, if you are going, if you admit that there's a problem, then you have to apologize. If there's a problem in some way, you have to like reconcile that. So if you can't handle the idea of entering into somebody else's pain that maybe you don't know, then you have to pretend that the problem doesn't exist. And then your brain has to spend all its time trying to come up with reasons and like scaffolding of logic to be like, oh, well, then you have to do this and then blah, blah, blah. And it's just like doing anything they can to not have an emotional response to something that they're either, I think, confused by or threatened by in some way. What a crazy time.
Yeah.
Building emotional the houses of cards. And we've said it before. It's like, there's so much going on too. It's like you said, no, it's we've got big social movements and cultural movements running right along at the same time as a pandemic. And there are these two massive things that the brain can barely handle one at a time. And we're trying to do both of those with, you know, climate change whistling in the background. And it's a mind fry, I think, for anybody. So good on you for realizing, like, man, I just need to take a break and stepping out from it.
Yeah. It cost me a lot of followers though. Still on the downward tick. So you know.
Welcome.
We all are. How does it feel?
Feels like I got to keep going because that's the only answer I got.
Get rid of them, man. I was like, we took the COVID test and I came back negative, and I put it on my Instagram story, and I was like, is this okay? Can I put that it's negative? And I was like, wait a minute, I don't have a virus, and I'm putting on there to wear a mask as well. And I was like, the fact that I'm even having to second guess it proves A, that I'm like scared of my own shadow right now, and then B, that it's crazy times, because that's such a very innocent thing to promote, but there's just a gun.
You wanted to promote, yay, I'm not sick, and hey, help make other people
don't
not
get sick yourself.
And you were like,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't get sick and go. I didn't want to go. Hey, I'm not sick. Look at how cool I am, not wearing a mask. It would be like didn't get sick. And I also wear a mask everywhere, and use hand sanitizer like it's my favorite thing. But yeah, it's just crazy. We're just living in a fun little adventure time.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well,
What
you know what?
God.
Yeah. Any religious stuff, Noah? Any
Oh my gosh. Okay. I
No.
guess. Yeah.
No.
Hey, don't ask me. Don't ask me. No, let's go. No, don't ask me to rant on some shit. I'll rant on it.
Are you practicing Jewish? Are you or?
Oh no, not at all. Not in that way.
And what is your stance on? Do you know Leviticus? Are you familiar with Leviticus 4?
Are you?
I'm not. But is that the one that talks about the end of time
Maybe I don't know.
and like the giants or something? Yeah, I have no idea.
I think I'll let the.
I was
going to
mention on God.
Noah.
Yeah. No, I will always rant on this because I think it's a real reality is the idea that the vice president is Mike Pence and the idea that what he represents is a very extremist evangelical. Let me attempt to say the word. But the idea of the religious extremists and their point of view is one of like both it is almost their job to see about the apocalypse, the rapture, because that's what their book says, and they will be saved. So they are here essentially for that moment.
Oh, they're waiting.
But also my fear within them, the idea that like, and I say this a bunch, if California were to have a massive earthquake while the pandemic is happening, explosions everywhere, massive flooding, whatever's happening, even something as simple as climate change and the effects of it, someone like Mike Pence, and I don't know him personally, so I can't really say this, but as a dude who is well known as can't be in the room with another woman unless his wife is there and like will not wear a mask, and also look at him, there's not much firing, he would look at that and probably just be like, oh, that's what happens when you're a bunch of liberal sinners. Like you are in Sodom, you worship the devil, you have these liberal views, you like gay people marry, all these things, you have abortion, so of course the rapture is going to happen and none of you are going to be saved.
Mm-hmm. I think you're 100% right. Yeah, especially with that happens with Pat Robertson and all that, and they that whole club.
Who's Pat Robertson?
He's the host of the 700 Club, which is one of the more popular television shows for evangelicals. It's like a talk show basically, but he spouts a lot of pro-Trump stuff. Occasionally during the pandemic, he's condemned him every now and then, but he's a big talking head for that whole community, and I'm sure it would be in line with whatever Pence would say. But yeah, it's it all goes back to the same thing where it's like even with the pandemic, the like you're saying, the idea of an earthquake, they have almost a desire for it. Like it proves them right when bad things happen because it shows that they're on the trajectory toward the end times, and I think that's really dangerous. I think getting at
the spin is so easy to be like, this is the thing that affirms our beliefs, and this other thing that didn't happen was just the devil. So
yes,
yeah.
Like, you
really
can't be wrong if that's the case. By the way, Sodom, California is my favorite part of wine country.
Sodom does sound like a city in California with that sells wine. Yeah, I'm not talking about that.
Honestly, and it would be a great city to stay at after midnight. That'd be Hollywood Boulevard too.
Yeah, that's
it definitely would be exactly what it is.
Yeah. All right, I'm cutting it, guys. Noah, thank you for joining us.
This has been nice.
Of course,
nice low-key chat. Thank you, Noah.
Yeah. I love that your background has been that background the whole time, and I really do want you to just start a conspiracy. Forget the Nickelodeon thing, but if you were just doing straight up like conspiracy theory talks with that background,
for like kids shows,
my gosh, it'd be the best thing ever.
This is actually a chart. It's all connected, Joe. If only you could understand the message.
I cannot. Oh yeah, those are all just words. The first letter of every color spells out something. Noah, do the thing where you tell people what you want them to follow you on. So whatever projects you would love to do at the end here to remind them.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for having me so that I could just talk about myself. If you're interested in checking out what I'm doing, this month's a crazy month. You can check out Introverts and Extroverts on the App Store and Google Play. Download it, play it. Give it a nice review. I'm happy that I had a good review. That's cool.
Isn't that nice? I wouldn't have read it.
Dude,
I would have felt so bad.
Right? If it was horrible, I have one review. There's probably only been like 12 downloads. Like,
dude, honestly,
I have not mentioned it to many people.
I would have made up a positive review, and I would have told you after the
Wow.
podcast.
Well, now you might have done now we don't know if it's real.
No. He showed it to the camera. I saw it.
The one I'm leaving right now is scathing.
Scathing is a good word. I like that word, Ellie. Good job.
Yeah. Check me out on YouTube. Check me out on Instagram. Google my name. Hopefully I pop up. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you very much, Noah. Thank you to everybody listening. And check out patreon.com/thevalleyfolk because we are going to be back. We're surviving, and we can't wait to make comedy with our friends. More of it together in the same room one day. But thank you again, Noah, and thank you to Joe Beretta. Joe, you look great. You look like a survivor.
All right, guys. Goodbye.